Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Professor with another video here. Give me a second. I'm getting some stuff situated. 1 second. All right. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? So the purpose of this video is gonna be real short, simple, sweet. Um, I know I kind of alerted a couple people on a few different futures, different trade ideas. But I wanna really get down to some of the things that I think would be a little bit beneficial for us as a team, and also um, something that will, I believe, that'll be a benefit for yourself. Um, all right, so again, the purpose of this video is to kind of give my little strategy. I'm not gonna say my strategy. This is a very, very simple strategy, or very simple uh a way of executing trades based on smaller time frame and when scalping. Now, for those who know me, I'm Professor. I'm actually an options trader. I'm also a futures and forex trader as well. But I recently just really started diving deeper into forex. I mean, to prop firms, and I've been trying to pass these prop firms in a very, very fast, timely manner. And the problem with most people when they are in prop firms, and the reason why they lose, is because they get greedy and they don't have necessarily a plan and or risk management capabilities. So, um, so by the end of this video, you should kind of have an understanding of how to enter trades, especially when you're entering trades through the um uh scalping on the futures market. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So the first thing I do is I trade the orb when it comes to the when it comes to futures, right? Futures is very, very fast. And when you're entering with futures, you have to understand the bigger picture. So looking at the daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, and all that stuff, I'm not gonna go through that right now, but you have to have a bias as to where you think the market's gonna go. Right. So me personally, I like to trade 5 minute time frame. Um, and based on that 5 minute time frame, I typically like to scalp, right? So, all right. So one of the things that I kind of also, like I said, wanted to discuss is prop firms. I know I mentioned that we can go and do prop firms, and while we're doing prop firms, we can actually, um, depending on the account size that you're using, you can execute a specific enter a trade idea based on the amount of money that you're willing to lose. All right. So let me give you an example. So 1 second. Let me see. All right, so here is at the 5 minute time frame, right? This is the 5 minute time frame. Now, typically what I like to typically do is to um wait for a break and retest, right? Let me just go ahead and give you an example as far as what I feel what will happen. So this is an example. All right, so this is so basically I like to trade the orb, as I said earlier. I like to trade the orb, and there's several times I like to trade the orb. Now, I like to trade the open range breakout at 2:30 in the afternoon. I had to trade the open range breakout 2:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 9:30 a.m., and also 12:30 in the afternoon. So 12:30, 2:30, 8 p.m., and 9:30 a.m. All right. Don't ask me why those specific times. I just like them. All right. So this is an example of what I typically like to do when entering a trade. So as I said earlier, a lot of time people fail prop firms because of risk management, and I'm gonna show you why. So basically, this is the open range breakout tool that I got. And this is based off of risk. So based off of a certain amount. So it's just telling you the amount of contracts you should buy and the amount of ticks that you should go for as a take profit. These tick levels are basically is going to be your it's pretty much going to be your stop loss, right? So this specifically is three contracts for M and Q. 298 ticks, which is actually $500 as a loss. So I'm going to show you that. So if I go here, the risk, I'm risking $500, right? Risk 500. So if I get stopped out, I'll lose 500. However, with these same three ticks, you can also take profit. So every purple line, which is 298 ticks, I can show you how that is. So from here, it's going to be 298 ticks. Boom. Right there. It's 298. Right? That's 298. So if I were to short here, if I were to short right here and hit this first line, that's 500. Another 298 ticks, 1,000. Another 298, 1,500, right? That's based off of 500. Now let me show you how this works. So based upon uh based on how this works, one second. Based on how this works, um I think I'm having some issues with this. Give me one second. Okay, so based on um how this works is let me go ahead and do a replay mode. How you do that? Boom, replay. And I'm going to start it here. Now, how this indicator works is basically if you close above this area, more than likely, so like I said, it's based off the orb, right? If it close above here, usually go long, right? However, you don't want to do that just yet, right? Close above here, this can kind of be a fake out, right? I believe this is an order block, or I guess I don't know. But you go up here, you close above here, typically you would the most um uh or breakout traders would typically go for probably this fair value gap and here. That's cool. But with this indicator, what this does is it gives you a confirmation. So let me just go ahead and just hit play so I can show you. So let me just hit three because this is telling me three contracts. It suggested I buy three. All right, so boom, I'm hitting play, waiting for the breakout. Now, if what happens is it has to close above it, but also it didn't give me an indicator to go long, right? See, it went down. So typically what I like to do is if I were to go long, right? If I were to go long, if this candle, which it did close, right? I will, once price gets below this area, for example, here down around this area, I will set a buy limit here. Setting a buy limit. And the reason why I say that is because setting a buy limit, that's only if it's a confirmation. So boom, setting a buy limit here. So if price comes back up here, it'll go up. In that case, boom, didn't work out. So I'm waiting to go short now, right? So in this case, what do we see? Boom. Oh, well, it didn't close below it, so not getting into anything just yet. Boom, we close short. You close below it, waiting for a retest. So as price come back up to this area, right? I'll set a sell limit of three contracts. My stop loss is going to be here, which is 500, and I'll go for one, right? Okay, so my thought process in this case, waiting for price to come back up around this area, maybe around above this area, so above here, and setting a sell limit here. All right, you see it came back up and it's confirming to go back down, but so that would be a entry to go short, right? It's kind of hard to do it on this replay mode, but waiting for the price to come back up above it. All right, boom, there it is. So since price is closed above here, I'll hit a sell limit. So let me go ahead and hit this little button right here. Sell three limit. I mean sell stop or limit sell. Boom. So basically as price, so my thought process is this. As price is going below this area, 29,316, my stop loss is going to be here. A stop loss is going to be here, which is 500, or you can go halfway, which is right here, which is 250. So boom, let me go ahead and hit play. As you can see, it's going to come back and come back down. Boom, I'm automatically in the trade. I'm in it as soon as price, so let me pause it. As soon as price hit here, that's going to be what? It's off just a little bit, but yeah. 450, let me go take it here to just say 800, whatever. Stop loss, halfway mark, 200. Boom, let's get it. So right now we're in the trade. Boom, hit it, make TP1. We'll hit TP2 right here. Boom, boom, we in. We got it. Right? So that's a little less, about 900, okay, about almost about $1,000 right there. Boom, we're done for the day. Right? So that's the kind of a strategy. Let me show you another time frame or another. You could do the same thing for the 930, but in this case, it was so choppy. In this case was price was telling you want to go short, but we never got a confirmation. A confirmation to go short here, but actually you would have had you would have hit TP1. Would have hit TP1 right there. All right. But here, same thing. Long, boom. It was super choppy. I wouldn't have been in at all because it was kind of choppy. In that case, you can go ahead and open up another time frame, do 10 minutes to see. Boom. You see short, never confirmation. Okay, boom, long confirmation. And as you can see, if you would have went long here on the 10 minute, so you get one contract. And as you can see, boom, long, came back as a confirmation. It was choppy. This is your stop loss. And what happened? Could have went long here. TP1 right here. You would have hit TP1 around 130. Boom. That's that. All right. Same thing. This one, the 5 minute, because that's what I like to trade in. All right. This is the London session. Boom. Close above here. It just went and just hit TP1, TP2 immediately, almost immediately. Boom. It never came back as a confirmation to go in. You could have just basically, as soon as it touch that area. So you got TP1, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 3,500. Easy. And this is the 8 o'clock session as well. Boom, came up close. Wait for price to go below here to go long. Never triggered. Boom. Price came down. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Price came down to go short, right? As soon as price came up above here, I want to go short right here. Type of my stop loss is here, or halfway mark is 250. As you can see, 500 is my stop loss. So boom, 500, 10, that's $1,500. Right. All right. So yeah, let's go through silver. I think it was somebody was saying they want to do silver. This works just as well as with silver. Boom, here we go. Short, came down, back up at the retest. Close here, came up, retest. Five, that's 1,000. Same thing here. Never close above it. So we're on short. Close below this area. Boom. Price came back up here. Because we closed below here. See that indicator, a little red short. Came down, came up here. Price came above the area where you intentionally go short. Set your sell limit. Boom. TP1 is 500. TP2, 1,000. TP3, 1,500. All right. Super easy, in and out. Don't have to spend a whole much time on charts. Super easy. Like I said, I like to think simple. And of course, I'll be killing options. Like I do options, I do Forex features and all that. But this by far, I would say, is the most simplest way to get profitable, especially when you're in prop firms. Now, there are other things that I look at in addition to just the orb. This is literally just the entry. I mean, I look for standard deviations, and some people call it top ticks and stuff like that. I look for all that stuff too, but I don't necessarily look for any of that while doing futures because there's no need to, right? If you need 10, 20 ticks, that's all you need. Or I'm sorry, you need 50, 60 ticks. There's no need for you to look at the daily and the weekly and the monthly to see what it's going to do and look at the previous 3 month. Like, I don't care about all that right now. Like, I'm not doing options, I'm not doing swings, so there's no need for me to look at that, do any of that right now. Right? Here's another one, 8 o'clock. Boom. It just 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 2,500 based off of one contract. Boom. Right? So you close here. The most that you can probably possibly lose is one contract. I mean, it's $500. Again, that's customizable. So you can put, just say 1,000 or 1,500. Put 1,500 and boom, we're in there. Tell me to get three. Okay, well, because let's see. All right, there we go. Yep, tell me to get three contracts. And let's see, I'm just going to hit three. Boom. All right, y'all see what just happened? So price literally came up here, it closed, it gave me the signal to go long, but price never, well, price did go below here. Price would come below here, but then that's when I would take my a buy limit right here, but price never came back up. So I'm like, there's no need. Cancel that order. Price is down below here, Price is short. So I'm waiting for price to come right back up around this area. And then I'll go ahead and go short right here. Or I can just go ahead and just say forget it. And just again break, retest. That's all it is. Oh, well, see, in this case, it just literally just flushed. It literally just flushed, So that would have been either an example where you can just go ahead and just wait until price just go, you know, or you can just mark this level, just mark it and then put enter it on a 1 minute, right? So, but yeah, look at this. This is another example. Another example. Break. You could have sort of retested this area, but personally, it don't really matter. Boom, came down, and you would have made a lot of money. Look at this. So 1,500, 1,500, 1,500, 15, 15, 15, 15. And this is based on 14 contracts. This is based on 14 contracts. So let me just see this real quick. Go ahead and go back here. 14. I'll just set a sell, sell stop. This is my stop loss. My stop loss, like I said, stop loss is gonna be what, 1,500? But I like to set mine halfway, which is about right here, 700. Boom, eaten. Boom, it's 11K, 12K, 13K, easy, So, all right, so well, that's all I'm gonna talk about today. Again, I'm not going to really get into anything else that's based off of the simple orb strategy that I use. Um, I mean, I'm not going to get into other things such as Fibonacci retracements and top ticks and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Hit me up if you got any other questions. Appreciate your time. Yeah, have a good one.